Well, hi, my friends. Um, I have been listening to the International Tribunal for the National Justice and their testimonies. I don't know if you are familiar with that, but it has to do with a, a law of justices who will listen to whistleblowers, to anyone who needs a place where they can feel safe and come to explain what they see as as a human injustice going on, such as child trafficking, pedophilia rings, and um, human sacrifices, using babies and children as currency. Um, uh, and these people who perpetrate these crimes go all the way to the very top of different institutions and government. Um, and spiritually, this goes all the way back to the days of Babylon, okay? Because of the worship of Moloch, okay, which the Bible talks about. Um, and we know that our Bibles have been corrupted, so it's very difficult to know, um, what you're reading. But if you read all sorts of things, then you can kind of put the picture together. That's why I like Swedenburg, too. And also with the satanic cult that has been prevalent in the United States since its beginning. About 12% of the population of the United States is satanic, and they use their own children, their own families in the Illuminati to perpetrate these black magic, satanic, otherworldly, fourth dimension entities that are involved with their practices, and they, don't want anybody in the United States to know about these things. So, the go along to get along mentality is what they want you to have, so that you're not independent, you're not free thinking, that you're not a creative person, you're not, questioning government. When I was growing up, it's question government. Don't let them, make you stupefied into being a doormat, basically, for whatever they want to do to you and your children. And they also use other immigration children for their ritual practices. So there's this the stronger underlying current that is the glue that holds this satanic cult together. And they use the blood of children. They harvest their organs to sell. They also eat them, the different parts of the pineal gland or whatever they do, to keep them young. And you've heard about, John Podesta, the Pizza Gate. Although that is still true, I don't care what, our stupid news media is trying to make you think. It is very, very true. Seaman, who was the first young man who broke the news about Pizzagate, was a Huffington Post newsman who branched out on his own, was let go of Huffington Post because of what he was exposing. Anyway, if you look at on YouTube, you can find out more about this International Tribunal of National Justice and different testimony. One girl came from a family of I don't know, something like all girls and just a few boys in her family, something like 17 children or something, that were all used, from the Mormon Church, if you will, all used for sex, slavery, incest, you know, um, and you know, you, mind ultra control experiments were done on them. Was actually experimented on by Joseph Mengele, inserted with syringes of all different kinds of chemicals, made to be able to fly jets and soldier and go through all kinds of mind-blowing things that you just would think it was, you know, some made-up Hollywood movie, okay? That it couldn't possibly be true, but it is. And how they are promised that they would become movie stars or in the entertainment where they would be taken care of monetarily, and yet have a little modicum of fame and so forth. So really interesting stuff if you really want to know what's going on in the world. And I would think that the people who listen to my channel do, because number one, there is a God, and he is above all, and good, and he wants our world to be, you know, as in heaven, as on earth, so in heaven, so it is on earth. He wants all of us who are individual to be an individual church unto him, so that if I tell you this is the truth, this is what's going on, you tell somebody else, and they tell somebody else, and they tell somebody else, and before you know it, the truth is out there. Our subconscious has changed. Our consciousness has changed. And that's the other thing about satanic cult. They reprogram the subconscious, okay? When we are born in this Luciferian world, we are given, you know, from the time we're born till the time we're 8 years old, we are programmable. And they actually use electrodes on in vitro to change the thinking of this person's life, so that their whole life is already hijacked before they even have a chance. Okay, so even so, when you're a child, you are programmable, and if you are abused in any way sexually, you will disengage from your body. You'll detach. They can reprogram you. You can actually see what's going on if you go out of your body, for example, and know that there is a spiritual world and there's more to this world that meets the eye, okay? So that's why I'm reading to you about Swedenburg, and that's why I'm trying to get this in my own little way, get the truth out there. Well, what's really going on? So do take a look at that when you get a chance. There's a lot of testimony. It's going to take hours to go through, but well worth it to educate yourself, and hard to stomach some of the stuff that you'll hear, especially when it comes to children and babies and what they do as far as killing them and eating them and harvesting their organs for Planned Parenthood and so forth. You know, you hear about this and that and everything, but it's all related, and it's all, you know, there's all a single thread that goes through and connects all of them. Okay, so we finished on page 266 the last time we talked with each other, and we were talking about that this is what Jehovah, the Holy One of Israel, and its fashioner said, I made the earth, and the human being on it I created, the Lord said. My hand stretched out the heavens, and to the whole army I gave commands. Isaiah 45, 11, 12, and 13. And for this reason the prophets saw the Lord as a human being. Ezekiel was one who did, and the expanse was seemingly the appearance of a sapphire stone like a throne, and on the likeness of the throne was what looked like the appearance of a person on high, high above. Ezekiel 1:26. So sapphire looks just like that. Okay, that's a sapphire stone, and that's one reason why I have it. Okay, because it reminds me of the throne room of God. And when Daniel saw the Lord, he saw him, the Son of humankind, or human being, which is the same thing. I looked, and there, in the cloud of the sky, it was in the Son of humankind was coming, and he came to the Ancient One. And they brought him before the Ancient One, and he was given power to rule, and glory, and kinships. And all people, nations, and tongues will serve him. His ruling power is eternal, a power that will not pass away, and his kingship one that will not perish. Daniel 7:13 and 14. And the fact the Lord often calls himself Son of humankind, or humankind, echoing the prophecy in Daniel. And he will come in the glory, he says. They will see the Son of humankind coming in the clouds of the sky in strength and glory. Matthew 24:27 and 30. The clouds of heavens or sky is what the literal meaning of the word is called. Strength and glory are the terms for the word's inner meanings, which at each and every point focuses exclusively on the Lord and his kingdom. This focus is what gives the inner meaning strength and glory. The people of the earliest church meant when they spoke of the Lord's image involves more than what then can be put into words. People have no idea whatever that the Lord governs them through angels and spirits. The spirits create a link with the world of spirits. The angels create one with heaven. We cannot possibly live without a channel of communication open to the world of spirits, through spirits, and to heaven through angels. This way to the Lord through heaven. Our life depends totally on such a connection. If the spirits and angels withdrew from us, we would be destroyed in a second. As long as we are unregenerated, we are governed in a completely different way than the regenerated. Before regeneration, we have with us evil spirits whose grip on us was so strong that the angels, through present, can achieve hardly any result. All they can do is head off from the rushing of the worst kind of evil and divert us toward some form of good. They even use our own appetites to lead us toward good, and the illusions of our senses to lead us toward truth. Under these circumstances, we communicate with the world of spirits by means of spirits around us, but not so much with heaven, since the evil spirits are in charge and the angels only deflect their influence. So that's as long as we're unregenerated, okay? So, the evil was running rampant before the Lord came. That's why, the worship of Moloch, and Satan, whatever, goes back 3,000 years. Christ, 2,000 years is when he came into the world precisely at the right time. Otherwise, the world would have been obliterated. When we are regenerated, on the other hand, the angels are in charge, inspiring us with all kinds of goodness and truth, and instilling a horror and fear of evil and falsity. Okay, so this is done. All good comes from the Lord. Okay, so angels do give us guidance, but they are mere helpers, and the Lord alone governs us through angels and spirits. Since angels have their assisting role, the words of this verse appear in the plural. Let us make a human in our image. But since only the Lord rules and manages us, the next verse uses singular. God created the human in his image. The Lord states his role clearly in Isaiah. This is what Jehovah has said, your Redeemer and the one who formed you from the womb. I, Jehovah, make all things, stretching the heavens out on my own, spreading the earth out by myself. Isaiah 44:24. The angels themselves confess that they have no power, but act only as at the Lord's behest. Okay, so I'm going to stop there. And continue, hopefully tomorrow. And so I hope that you have a good day. Take a look at that International Tribunal of National Justice when you can. And leave me a thumbs up, like, and subscribe. Love you guys. Be true to yourselves. Bye.